Hey there, thank you very much for joining us today for this video on top tips for creating your virtual stall. This is brought to you by Handmade Hour and Nicola B Studio. Let's get stuck in. So why Canva? First of all, it's free. We're going to show you how to use just the free one to build your stall. It's suitable for any level, so there's free design templates there if you need them. There's free graphics, fonts and images as well. Suitable for designing a wide variety of different things from brochures to social media. Available for a phone, tablet and also a desktop or laptop version as well. So if we log into Canva, canva.com, and once you log in or sign up, then you'll find this as your homepage. Your profile information is there top left, obviously a search bar, then you've got some design options. So have a look through this to actually find everything that you can create with Canva. Your designs is obviously where you'll find your creations. And if you want to use templates, you can find them either on the left-hand side, the little menu bar there, or if you continue to scroll down quickly here, you can see some of the different templates that are available. Now what we want the create a design button right there, top left, just underneath your profile information. And we are going to create an Instagram post. So when you get through to the creative interface, this is what you'll find. So I'm not going to go through all the different tools, but here you can see some of the things pop up. The templates along the left hand menu bar, scroll through those, you'll find things that are trending. To use any of the elements from the toolbar on the left hand side, just drag and drop or double click. As a watch out, just be careful about the Pro Crown. It means there's an additional charge to use that item. In elements you'll find things such as shapes, clip art type graphics, grids. Just be wary of that Pro Crown. Canva puts together some lovely font combinations. They'll be found underneath text in the menu bar to the left. Drag and drop if you want to use any of those. Some of these text tools are quite self-explanatory, very similar to any word processor. Some extra tools over there to the right. Position of objects, you can use that to align objects to one another or to the canvas board. Here you'll also find the transparency tool. Use the slider to change the transparency of a particular item. The padlock shows whether an item is locked or unlocked. This is helpful when editing a design with multiple items. In the menu bar to the left, there are also music and video. However, we won't be needing these today. Moving on to the background tab, again here you'll find a wide variety of different backgrounds to choose from. In the Uploads tab is where you'll find all your images. Remember to upload high-res JPEGs or PNGs. Canva has some basic photo editing tools. Add an image to the canvas and these will show up. You have effects, filter, adjust, crop, flip. Here I have selected the crop tool. Now I'm just pulling on the corners. The ratio of the window stays the same. Once I hit done, that image is locked within that crop window. So if I pull the diagonal corners, that image will pull up with it. If I want to change the ratio, the size of that crop window, for example, make it squarer, I can pull in those sides rather than the corners. Canva has these inbuilt grids. These flash up pink and help you center elements to the canvas and elements with each other. Now that's the basics of Canva's tools done. Let's get to designing your stall. We will go through these top tips first and then use these to create the best visuals we can. Clear photography. Use the best camera you have available. Be consistent. Consistent with your branding, consistent with your fonts and consistent with your colours. Keep your slides as word-free as possible. Allow your products to really shine. Remember the format you're designing to. Instagram is seen mainly on phones, which generally have small screens. Now let's get cracking and create the plan for our layout. You can do this with a pad and pencil or you can do this on Canva like I am. Both work well. Let's start with creating a layout for just one image. What we're going to do here is just mark out individual areas for important aspects such as where images are going to sit, where our brand is going to sit, where our pricing is going to sit. What we're going to remember is consistency and the format that we're going to be using. I'm only using the squares to mark out particular area. I'm not necessarily going to use these in my final design. I'm actually going to change this price square to a circle, as I feel a circle is more on brand for me. Canva has this cool function called group. So when you select two items together, you can group these. This means that when you move one, the other one will come with it. To do this, select one of your objects, hold shift, select the other one. Group will appear next to position, and then group the two objects together. If you want to ungroup them, just select the group and click ungroup. What we also need to keep in mind is the different types of layouts that we need to create. We may need a layout which has just one image, a layout that has two images, and a layout that has three images. We would recommend no more than 2 to 3 images per slide. Having too many images on your slides will overcrowd them, and this will make it harder for people to see your products clearly. Once you're happy with your layout, copy your page and let's see if we can add in extra images without changing the area for the brand, the price and the product name. If we can leave these elements in the same place, this ensures consistency. I've got a few product ranges with about 3 different design options, so a slide layout with about 3 images is quite important to me, so I'm going to do that next. Let's also do a layout for 2 images, just in case. Now that I'm happy with these, I'm going to zoom out and just check the brand is in the same position and that everything roughly follows the same layout. A few more tweaks to be done. Here I can duplicate any slides that I want. We can use up to 10 slides in the Instagram carousel, so why not utilise all of them? I also want to start thinking about the flow of my virtual store. It might be that I lead with some of my best sellers. Right, now let's start populating these layouts with real images and branding. So just drag and drop any of your images from the upload panel and then resize accordingly. Now if you have some brand colours that you want to put into Canva, select the item that you want to change the colour of and go up to the colour palette, which is top left, and select new colour. What you can do there is add in your hex code. Now if you don't know your hex code but you know your CMYK or your RGB breakdown, there are so many websites where you can easily find the hex number for that particular breakdown. I use a website called Coolers, which will give you all the different colour spectrum breakdowns, and you can even download it as a PDF. Another way of getting your brand colours onto Canva is to create just big areas of your brand colour. So for example, here I've created these JPEGs, A4 JPEGs in Photoshop with the colours that I like, and I've added that as an uploaded image. Now I'm going to add my brand mark. Now here I've used a PNG, and this means that it's got a transparent background, and a JPEG has always a coloured background, a solid background. Now I can just duplicate this page and then update the images and just some of the wording and maybe the price if that does change. Just going to fast forward through this section. So even on the slides where I've got multiple images and where those are maybe the same range but different items, I've treated the price in the same way, so it's always top right corner of that particular image. Personally, I think if you've got the space to add in a slide that tells people a little bit about who you are, so they can put a face to your brand, I think that's always quite a nice thing to do. Now, if you're ready to download, just zoom out and double check, have a quick scout around and have a look at how's your brand been treated the same? Are your images clear? Are you consistent? And have you thought about the format? Are your slides all clear and easy to understand at small scale? If so, hit that download button. I always like to scan the PNGs as I download them and just flick through them, because what I do is I find that it's easier to see mistakes because they pop out quite obviously. Like, look here, this is obviously the wrong font, I forgot to change this, let's go in and change that quickly. So, to summarise, tip 1, big clear photography. Use the best camera you have, shoot in natural daylight, ensure that your photography can be easily understood at a small scale, and we recommend no more than 2 to 3 images per slide. Tip 2, keep slides as word-free as possible. Add details such as size, materials, colour options, etc. to your Instagram caption below, and keep any text away from your images. Be consistent. Use the same colours and fonts throughout and treat your branding the same way throughout. Ideally, your fonts and your colours should be also your brand fonts and colours. Remember that the format you're designing for. So zoom out every now and then and check that everything can be seen and understood at small scale. Thank you very much for being part of this today, and hopefully you've learnt a few tips and tricks on how to use Canva and how to create the best virtual store you can. By all means, drop us any questions and comments that you may have. We can't wait to see what you create.